Okay, quiz 4. So let's look at this. 5 miles and we want to go to yards. 5 miles and we want to go to yards. Well, there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And so the miles will drop out and I'm left with feet. And so we want to go to yards, and there are 3 feet in 1 yard. And so now it's just calculator problem. So we have 5 times 5,280 and divided by 3. And that gives us 8,800 yards. 8,800 yards. 2.14 times 10 to the third. 2.14 times 10 to the third inches. And we want to go to centimeters. Well, there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. 2.54 centimeters in an inch. So the inches will drop out and we're left with centimeters. So we just multiply now. 2.14, and that is to the third power. Multiply that by 2.54, and that gives us 5435. 5435.6 centimeters. And so that's going to be 5.4 times 10 to the third. 5.4 times 10 to the third centimeters. 7.45 times 10 to the fourth, and that's going to be meters, and we want to go to miles. Well, there are 1609.34 meters in 1 mile. And so we can just divide 7.45, and that goes to the fourth power. Divided that by 1609.34, and we get 46.3 miles. Right there. Bam. Okay, so we could have done this problem a little bit differently. We could have gone through and done more brackets. 7.45 times 10 to the fourth meters. We could have said in each meter is 100 centimeters. And then we could have said that there were 2.54 centimeters in an inch, and that there are 12 inches in a foot, and that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Notice the meters would have dropped out, the centimeters, the inches, and the feet, and we'd be left with units of mile. And so if we do that calculation, we should get the same answer. So 7.45, and that goes to the fourth power, multiplied by 100, divided by 2.54, divided that by 12, and divided that by 5,280. And I get 46.3. Same answer. So either way, you can do it with a bunch of brackets, or you can memorize that table I gave you, and you could use just the single bracket. Okay, here we go. So we have 8 kilometers, and we want to go to feet. Well, every 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And we know that there's 1609.34 meters in a mile. And there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So the kilometers, the meters drop out, and the miles drop out. Always, always, always go back and check your units to make sure your units are correct. So we just multiply. We have 8 times 1,000, and then divided by 1609.34, and multiplied by 5,280. I get 26,247. So 26,247 feet. Not enough room there to write it all. 26,247 feet. And bring that decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2.6 times 10 to the 4. 2.6 times 10 to the 4. So 10 pounds, and we want to go to kilograms. 10 pounds, we want to go to kilograms. So there's 2.20462 pounds in a kilogram, and we just divide. 10 divided by 2.20462, and we get 4.54. 4.54 kilograms. Okay, notice the kilograms drop out, or excuse me, the pounds drop out. Now, sometimes you really can make approximations, and I want you to know that, like 1609 rather than 1609.34, or 2.2 rather than 2.20462. I mean, sometimes you can make approximations. It depends upon how close your answers are that you're going to pick from. It depends how close they are. It determines how accurately your conversion factor needs to be. So be careful with that. So 3.47 times 10 to the third kilograms. And we want to go to pounds. And so now our conversion factor has kilograms in the denominator and 2.20462 pounds in the numerator. And the kilograms will drop out, and my answer is going to be in pounds. So 3.47, and that's going to be to the third power multiplied by 2.20462, and I get 7650 pounds. And that's going to 7.6 times 10 to the third pounds. 7.6 times 10 to the third pounds. So 22 kilograms, and I want to go to pounds. 22 kilograms, I want to go to pounds. Again, there's roughly for every 1 kilogram, there are 2.20462 pounds. Well, my handwriting is horrible. 22 multiplied by 2.20462, and I get 48.5. 48.5 pounds. Okay, 48.5 pounds. Bam. Okay, good. Let's move on. So 150 pounds, and we want to go to kilograms. 150 pounds. So again, we have to have the conversion factor where pounds is in the denominator. So we put our 2.20462 pounds, and we have our kilogram up here, and the pounds drop out. And so 150 divided by 2.20462, and we get roughly 68.0 kilograms. 68 kilograms. Now we want to go from 1 week and determine how many seconds that is. So 1 week, and we want to go to seconds. Every week there are 7 days. So 7 days in a week. Weeks drop out. And each day, let's see, there's 24 hours in a day. Okay, so the days drop out. And then there's, in each hour, there's 60 minutes. Okay, hours drop out. And in each minute, there are 60 seconds. So, the minutes drop out. and I'm left with units of seconds, which is what I want. So all I have to do is multiply. So 1 times 7 times 24, multiply by 60, and multiply by 60 again. And I get 604,800. And so I get 604,800 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 10 to the 5th seconds. 6 times 10 to the 5th seconds. 2,000 hours, and I want to go to minutes. So I have 2,000 hours, and I want to go to minutes. Well, you know, there in each hour, there's 60 minutes. So that's an easy one. Okay, so 2,000 and multiply by 60, and that's 120,000. 120,000 minutes, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.2 times 10 to the 5th minutes. So, yeah, that was an easy one. Okay, so 1.82 times 10 to the 8th, and it's milliseconds, and we want to go to hours. Well, remember that there are 1 times 10 to the negative 3 seconds in every millisecond. Okay, so now we have it in seconds, and we want to go to hours. Now we could go from seconds to minutes, and then from minutes to hours. But 60 times 60 is 3,600. So why don't we just say there are 3,600 seconds in an hour and just be done with it? I mean, just make it easy on ourselves. So, and again, the milliseconds drop out, the seconds drop out, and we're left with units of hours. So 1.82, and that's to the 8th power. Multiply that by 1 to the negative 3rd, and divide by 3,600, and 50.6 roughly, 50.6 hours. Right there. Oh, wow, last one. Good. 2.2 times 10 to the 12th seconds. And we want to figure out how many years that is. And so what it's equivalent to. And we already said that there were 3,600 seconds in an hour. And that there's 24 hours in a day. Just hammer this stuff out. And then there's 365 days in 1 year. Okay, and so hey, we're done. So just multiply. Seconds drop out, hours drop out, days drop out, and well, we have to get years. So 2.2, and it's to the 12, divided by 3,600, divided by 24, and divided by 365. And I get 69,761 years. And so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.9 times 10 to the 4, 6.97 times 10 to the 4 years. Good. You know, if you're watching, wow, just made that giant mark there. If you're watching me do all these calculations and you're not really up to speed yet on their memorization, well, that's just memorization. But if you're watching me write out these brackets and you're saying, how is he writing those brackets out so fast? Remember, whatever's the unit is in the numerator, we have to put that in the denominator. And you have to get a logical flow to go from seconds to years in this case. So if it takes you some extra time, don't worry. Keep practicing. You know, I've had a little bit more experience. So don't, if I made it look easy, I apologize that you might be getting frustrated with it. But please, remember, keep practicing, and you'll get it, and then you'll be able to write it out just as easy as I just did. So enjoy your day.